Hello everyone, welcome to back our Python programming course. In previous lecture we learn about function parameters and argument. Now let's learn another important concept related to function. It's called scope. So many beginners face error like name error and name x is not defined like this. So why can't I access means why can't I access a variable outside the function? So the answer is scope. So today's lecture we will learn and understand what is a scope, types of a scope, variable, local variable, global keyboard, and legb rule. So let's begin. Now the question is, what is scope? So first of all, what does the word scope mean? Scope simply means where a variable can be accessed inside a program. So a scope defines the visibility and lifetime of a variable in Python programming. In simple words, it's tell us where a variable exists and where we allowed to use it. So scope simply defined as the visibility and timeline of a variable in a program. Let's take a one real example. Imagine your college and your classroom has a whiteboard. Only student inside that classroom can use it, but a student from another classroom cannot use it. So similarly, some variable belong only to one function, other function cannot access them. That means that is exactly the called scope. So now talk about types of scope. First one is local scope, then global, then enclosing for nested function, and built-in scope. So first understand local scope, then we will continue. Now what is local scope? So local scope is means a variable create inside a function is called local scope. Means variable defined inside a function are local to that function, can be accessed only inside that the function, so it can only be used inside that function. For example, if I write def student, then name equal to, if I write that Jenny, if I print this, print name, then student. So if I run this, the output will show Jenny. So now try this. If I run this like only this, means if I only print name, so it give me name error. So name is not defined. So why? Because name error so is a local variable, it only exists inside the function. So once a function finish, the variable disappear. So important point, local variable cannot be accessed outside their function. So now talk about global variable. Second one is global variable. So suppose we create a variable outside every function. For example, So I write def show, then I print this, then I write show. So if I print this, the output will show uh, ABC college twice. So why? Because college is a global variable, and global variable can be accessed almost everywhere in the program. So global variable defined outside the function or global can be accessed anywhere in the program. Understand? So now what is the difference between local scope and global scope? So local scope basically inside the function, work inside the function, and in global scope outside the function. Local scope has a limited access, and global has accessible everywhere. So now talk about global keyword. So suppose we want to change a global variable inside a function. For example, x equal to 100 def change, then global x equal to 500, then change print x. If I run this, so the output will show 500. So without the global keyword, Python create a new local variable instead of modifying the global one. Now talk about enclosing. So enclosing scope instant function. So inner function can access variable of outer function. For example, if I write def outer, then name equal to Python. So def inner, print name, then inner, then outer. So the output will show Python. So here inner can access the variable of outer. So this is called enclosing loop, means this inner can access the variable of this outer. So this is called enclosing. Now talk about what is built-in scope. So Python has some built-in names in the built-in scope, like print, length, range, and sum, max, min, like this. So we can use them directly, and this belong to built-in scope. Now talk about LEGB rule. So L means local, E enclosing, then global, then built-in. So Python first check local, if not found it check enclosing, then global, and then finally built-in. For example, if I write x equal to 100, then def outer, if x we take x equal to 50, then def inner. So x equal to 20, then print x, inner, then outer. So if I run this, the output will show me 20. So the output will show 20. So Python first found x inside inner, so it print 20. Now common mistakes, like trying to access a local variable outside a function, and one more, like forgetting to use the global keyword when modifying a global variable. So uh, now one of the most powerful concept in Python, that topic is decorator. So many Python framework like Flash and Django and Fast API use decorator. So if you understand decorator, you will find it much easier to read professional Python code. So now the question is, what is decorator? So first let's understand the meaning of the word decorator. So in real life, suppose you buy a simple birthday cake. Now the baker add cream, chocolate and colorful toppings. This cake is still same, uh, but its appearance and functionality become better. So this is the process of decoration. Similarly, a decorator add extra functionality to a function without changing its original code. So a decorator is a function that take another function as an input and return a new function. So it is used to modify the behavior of a function without changing its code. So why, the question is, why do we use decorator? So uh, let's imagine you have 100 function. Before every function runs, you want to print like program start, and after every function finish, you want to print like program finished. So without decorator, you would have to write these lines inside all 100 function. So that's mean a lot of repetition code. So decorator solves this problem. Now talk about advantage of decorator. So code reusability and keeps the code clear and dry, easy to maintain. So widely used in web development. So now to talk about function as a means object. So before learning decorator, you should know one of the important thing in Python. Function are object, means a function can stored in a variable passed as an argument, like return from another function. For example, uh, if I write def grid print hello world or hello x equal to grid, if I print this, the output will show hello. So now notice, we store a function inside another variable. Understand? So now basic decorator structure like this. If I write def, then deco, then function def, so I print this. welcome, then, or if I remove this name and welcome, then function, then print by, then return wrapper. So let's understand. So the outer function means this def decorator function, it receive another function, and this inner def wrapper, this is called the wrapper function. It's add extra work. So calling the original function, now it's calling the original function, this execute the original function and returning the wrapper. Instead of returning the original function, we return the modify one. Now let's complete this. So decorator, then def, so means if I, so great, if I run this, the output will show welcome by, then hello python, welcome hello python, then bye. So the line, this line at the end decorator is simply a shortcut. Instead of writing means like greet, GRWT, great decorator means this. So we write greet, both work both work exactly the same. So now take one more another example. If I write def, then message, so print welcome, then function, so print thank you, then return, so at the red message, then def greet, then hello python. So this one. So if I run this, the output will show welcome hello python, then thank you. So let's understand this concept with a real life example. So imagine a teacher entering the classroom. So before the teaching, the teacher say good morning, then the class will start, then teacher was teaching. After finishing, the teacher say thank you. So the lecture remain the same, only extra work happen before and after. This is exactly how decorator work. Now talk about decorator with parameters. So if I write decorator, then function. So I read decorator function, then def vapor name, then print welcome, then function name, then print by, then I will return this vapor, then add the red decorator, then I will give grid name, then print, then grid. So if I run this code, so welcome, hello, then bye. So why are decorator used? So decorator are used for login authentication, user authorization, and logging, performance measurement, and time execution. So if the original function has a parameter, the wrapper must also accept them. If you forgetting return wrapper, so without returning the wrapper, the decorator uh, does not work. Means simply, decorator are widely used in a framework like Flash and Django. So we can apply multiple decorator also. So now one another very important topic in Python called lambda function. So lambda means lambda function are frequently asked in Python interviews, coding test, and data scientist, machine learning, and automation, and also in pandas programming. So this is an important topic. So now the question is, what is lambda function? So suppose you want to write a function that's simply add two numbers. Normally we write like means normally we write like this: def, then add a comma b, then print or return, then print 8, 10, and 20. If I run this, the output will show 30. So now imagine we need the function only once instead of writing a complete function. So Python provide lambda function. So what is lambda? So lambda is a small anonymous function that can have any number of argument but only one expression. So why now the question is why it's called anonymous. So anonymous means without a name, like normal function, uh, def and add. If I write def means this def and add like this. So has a name but lambda function. So does not need this part. So and this def. So or a function name, that's why it's called anonymous function. So their syntax was very simple, like lambda argument then expression. So let's understand what is means lambda. So lambda keyword and argument. What is argument? So input value. Argument is input value, and expression. Expression means simple single line calculation, like this. So now first lambda function. So I write add equal to, for example, add equal to lambda then a comma b then colon then a plus b. So print add 5 and 3, so the output will show 8. So now notice no def and no return, so everything is written in one line. Now compare normal function and lambda function. So in normal function we write like def, then if I write in normal function like def sq square x and return x, then this x, then print square this, so the output will show 25. Now lambda function. So if I remove this two line and I write s square equal to lambda then x, so x into x. So if I run this, the output will show 25. So both give the same result. Now another example. If I remove this square and I want to print like cube of a number, so lambda then x into x. So if I want to print any number of cube like 5 or suppose 3, so 27 will be answer. Now like one more example of maximum numbers. So maximum equal to lambda a comma b, then a if a is then b else b. So print maximum. So if I run this, the output will show 20. Now for even and odd, so check equal to lambda a comma b comma or x so I write check lambda and x even if x2 is equal to 0, then else odd. Print check 7, so the output will show odd number. Now take one more example of area. We want to check area of rectangle. So area equal to lambda like length then breadth. So L into breadth, print area, then 5 comma 10. So the output will show 50. So this some advantage of lambda function means it's too short code and easy to read, and also simple function, one line function, useful in data science, and also work with map, filter, and reduce. So now talk about lambda with map. So now let's learn where lambda is most used. Suppose we have like this numbers equal to 1 to 5. So we want to square, we want squares of all this. So instead of writing a loop, we use map. So this, if I write this square numbers, then list map, then we get lambda x. So squared x multiplied by 2, so numbers, then print squared numbers. So if I run this, the output will show 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. Now talk about lambda with filter. So suppose we want only even number, so I only remove this. If I run this, the output will show 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Even for even percentage sign, then equal to 2. So if I run this, and the output will show 2 and 4. So in this now talk about reduce. So for reduce, first import like from functional means functional tools, import reduce. Like for example number, then reduce, print sum. So I write numbers 1 to 5, then sum reduce lambda x comma y, then semicolon x plus y, then numbers, then I want to print the sum, their sum. If I run this, the output will show 15. Now let's understand this concept with a real life example. Suppose you want to calculate GST once instead of creating a complete function. So lambda means lets you understand instantly. So like a calculator, quick, small and simple. Now what is the difference between normal function and lambda function? So in normal function we use def, in lambda function we use lambda. So normal function has a name, but lambda function has anonymous. So lambda function has multiple statement and means normal function has multiple statement and lambda function has one expression only. In normal function use return, we use return, but in lambda function no return keyword. And normal function has large program, lambda function has one line or small task. Now a common mistake, every beginner do this, like lambda then x then print x. So this lambda cannot means contain multiple statement, so that this is wrong. So now one more, in this argument is missing. So this concept are clear, everyone. Now talk about recursion. So now talk about recursion. So recursion means a function that call itself is called recursion. So at first recursion may seem difficult, but after this lecture you will understand it easily. So now this was a simple definition, we want to understand in deep. So what is recursion? So let make you a simple question, let make me ask you a simple question. Means have you ever stood between two mirrors? So you see your reflection again and again. So reflection inside reflection, this continues until its final despair. So recursion work in exactly the same way. A function keep call itself until a stopping condition is reached. So the recursion is a programming technique in which a function call itself to solve a problem. Instead of solving the complete problem at once, it's divided into many smaller and similar subproblems. So the question is, why do we need a recursion? So some problems are naturally recursive. For example, factorial, Jacobian series, tree travelers, and binary search, and Tower of Hanoi. Like so, this problem become easier to solve using recursion. So now components of recursion. So every recursion function has two important parts. First basic case and second recursive case. So base case is the stopping condition. Without a base case the function never means stop. Now recursive case. So in recursive case the function call itself. So in base case stop condition and recursive case function call itself. So let's take one example of this. if I write def, then function x. So if stopping condition x return value else return the function modified x. This one, modify not means smaller function. So this was the syntax of this one, recursion. So now let's take a real life example. For example, imagine climbing a staircase. You climb. So step 5, then 4, then 3, 2, then 1. So finally you reach the ground. So each step depend on the previous one. So this is recursion. For example, countdown like that, count, then n, if n equal to 0, return, then print count n minus 1, then count to 5. So the output will show 5, 4, 3, 2, then 1, like this. So how it's work? So first count 5, then means n. So mean 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, and then 0, then it is stop. So like let's take an example of factorial. So like we want to print factorial if n is or if I then print this. So I write def factorial n. If n equal to 0, return 1, and return n multiply factorial n minus 1. So the output will show 5, 120. So step by step. So first factorial of 5. So 5 into fact 4 means 5 into fact 4. Then 5 into 4 into factorial of 3. Then 5 into 4 into factorial of means 5 into 4 into 3 factorial of 2. Then continue with 1, so 120. Now let's understand an example of some first n number. Suppose we write def total, then n, if n is equal to 0, so return 0, then return n plus total, so n minus 1. Print this 5, so the output will show 15. So in this case, first 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, so the output will show 15. Now one example of Jacobian series. So Jacobian series formula is 0 1 1, that means like 0 comma 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 5, then 8, then 13, like this. So now take an example of this. If I write def Jacobian, then n, if n, then 1, if I return n, then return fab, then 4, for loop I in range of 10 or 8. So the output will show like this. So 0 1 1 2, then 3, then 5, then 8, then 13. Now first Jacobian 5, then Jacobian 4 plus Jacobian 3, then 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. Then so every function call itself again and again. So this was the advantage of recursion, means short code and easy for mathematical problem, easy for trees and graphs. So two mistake can do everyone. No base case. If you write def hello, then hello, so recursion error, maximum recursion depth. So Python never stop calling the function. And mistake 2 was wrong base case. So if the stopping condition is incorrect, the program may produce the work, means wrong output, or run forever. Now what is the difference between of recursion versus or loop? So loop used for and while, and recursion function call itself. Loop was faster than recursion because recursion is slower. Loop has less memory and recursion has more memory. So loop easy for simple problem and recursion is better for recursive problem. So where is recursive used? Means recursion is used. So is used in binary search or quick sort trees traveler, means traversal and graph algorithm, AI and anything. So we learn about recursion and understand how a function can call itself. So now we are going to learn another advanced and very useful concept in Python. It's called generator. So generator are widely used in data science and machine learning, big data processing and file handling, web development. So the main purpose of generator is to save money and improve performance. So now the question is, what is generator? So suppose you have 10 billion number or 10 million number. If you store all of them in a list, so Python need a huge amount of memory. Instead, the Python can generate one value at a time only when needed. So this is called a generator. So in simple way, a generator is a simple type of a function that return value one by one using yield keyword instead of return. So unlike normal function, a generator does not means return all values at once. So it produce values only when requested. So why do we need to learn generator? Why do we need generator? So imagine Netflix. Does Netflix download the whole movies before playing it? So the answer is no. So it stream the movie scenes by scenes. So similarly, a generator provide value one by one instead of loading everything into memories. So what is the difference between a normal function versus generator? So normal function, uh, we, so this was the syntax of generator, like def, then generator function, then yield values. For example, def count, then I equal to 1, while I is equal to 5, then yield I, then 1. So generator count for variable in generator print value. So 1 to 5 will be the output. So one question is, what is this yield? So the yield keyword pause the function and save its current state. So the next time the function is called, uh, it's continue from where it stop. So syntax of this is this: def function name, not generator, def, then function name, then yield value. So let take one example of this. Like def number, if I write yield 1, then yield 2, then y 3. So x equal to number, then print. So if I run this, the output will show 1 2 then 3. So how it's work? So this next x, so it return 1, then function pause, step 2 again, then this next x, this one is written this 2, function pause again, then in step 3 again next x, so it return 3. So for let's take one another example. If I write def, then fruits, this type, then print. If I run this, so the output will show apple, banana and cherry. So first the program return this x apple, then function pause, then again in step 2 again next x, so it return this banana. So let's take one more example to understand. Square. So if I write def, then square n, so for I in range, while I is this, then for x in square 5, then print x. So I write for I in range n yield I into I, so for x in square 5, then print x. So the output will show 0 1 4 9 and 16. Let's take one another example. Like we want to check even numbers. So if I comment out this, def even, so numbers n, then 4, this, then print it. So I write def even number n for I in range n. So if I is percentage sign, then 2 equal to 0, yield I for x in even number 10, so print x. So the output will show 0 2 4 6 and 8. Now generator expression, so just like list comparison, so Python provide generator expression. Like in list, if I write numbers, x into x for x in range of 10, or I write 5. So print numbers. If I run this, the output will show 0, 1, 4, 9 and 16. In generator, if I remove this, and so in generator the output will generator object. So now I write for I in number, print I. So if I run this 1, 4, 0, 1, 4, 9 and 16. Now let's understand what is the advantage of generator. So generator use less memory, fast execution and generate value one by one. It is best for large data and easy to reach. So some disadvantage, value can generate only once and cannot access by index and hard to debug. So difference between normal function and generator. So in normal function use return and return all data. In generator use yield, like this operator or this yield. It return one value at a time and it consume less memory. So if we want to pause, so after yield, so better for large data. So let's understand with a real life example. Imagine a water tank, like instead of releasing all water at once, the tap gives water slowly. This saves water and prevent overflow. So generator work the same way. They provide one value at a time. Now understand. So one common mistake that everyone can do, using return instead of while. So this is wrong. Only the first return run. And mistake 2, calling text too many time, means calling next too many time. So after all values are finished, gives stop iteration. So it will be very simple.